Topping today's news, the search continues for a missing American woman that jumped from a cruise ship off Grand Bahama. In addition to cheaper eggs, SuperValue looks for more affordable food items in other categories. Senators debate the anti-corruption and whistleblowers bill, and the Parliamentary Human Rights Committee gets busy working. This is your JCN Evening News. I'm Jarino Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us. The search is on for a missing American woman. Police say they're investigating the circumstances surrounding a 56-year-old female American passenger who was reported to have jumped off a cruise ship in waters approximately 17 nautical miles off South Grand Bahama on Monday. That was March 3rd, 2025. Sometime around 11:30 a.m., officials from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force reported the incident to the police in Grand Bahama. Later, the incident was also reported to police in New Providence at around 12:28 p.m. on the same date by the ship agent for the Nassau cruise port. Preliminary reports indicate that on the 2nd of March, shortly after 10 p.m., the victim is alleged to have gotten into an argument with her fiancé and unfortunately jumped overboard. The U.S. Coast Guard, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, and Air Miami MH65 searched the area with negative results. However, due to weather conditions, the search efforts were temporarily suspended. Police say search efforts will continue as soon as weather conditions permit. Those search efforts are ongoing as we speak. In recent times, alongside eggs, inflation on breadbasket items have been another prominent issue that have caused a struggle amongst Bahamian consumers. These basic grocery items are essential for the well-being of all homes and families. Deborah Simonet, President and CFO of SuperValue, spoke on a hopeful possibility of the price of breadbasket items also decreasing in the near future, as SuperValue is also making an effort to find the best prices for consumers.
Well, just as we've done with eggs, we're going to continue to look wherever we can to find cheaper prices so that we can offer the lower prices to our customers. Whenever we get the lower prices, we pass them on to our customers. So that's what we're doing. We're looking diligently.
On Monday, SuperValue announced a massive reduction in the price of eggs from around $10 per dozen to $4.19, including VAT. The Davis administration taking a hands-on approach to corruption with the tabling of a new anti-corruption bill. On Monday, senators debated the bill with Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Ryan Pinder, moving for the second reading of the Independent Commission of Investigations Bill 2025 and the Protected Disclosure Bill 2025. During his contribution, Mr. Pinder sought to shed light on the intended purpose of the proposed bills. Here's what he had to say.
This legislation addresses the government's approach for anti-corruption measures and good governance. The government of the Bahamas takes allegations of corruption seriously, whether the allegations are against our security forces or any other government agency or official. We have a commitment to transparency and we have a commitment to good governance. We have worked, Madam President, to introduce legislation that will address the concerns of the people. The Independent Commission of Investigations Bill was released for widespread consultation. We have taken note of the feedback that we have received, and the bill we debate today incorporates the comments and the suggestions of the public at large that were received and accepted. We also debate today, as mentioned, the Protected Disclosures Bill 2025, which establishes a whistleblower protection framework.
Additionally, Pinder outlined the various responsibilities that will be given to authorities assigned to carry out these new laws.
With respect to the Independent Commission of Investigations Bill, Madam President, this bill recognizes the need to ensure that there is transparency and independence in investigation of incidents which allegedly involve serious breaches of criminal law that are specified in the bill by officers of security forces and by specified officials. So there's two sets of persons that this bill governs. Again, security forces and specified officials. The security forces, Madam President, that includes the police force, the defense force, the Department of Corrections, Customs and Excise Departments, the Immigration Department, and any other force or service that is specified by an act of Parliament. So if that is expanded by Parliament, this bill would likewise apply to them. The law applies to specified officials, Madam President, which includes parliamentarians, so we're all covered.
The Attorney General says this is just one of the many steps the Davis administration is taking to rectify the ongoing issue of corruption in our country. They are tasked with, among other things, advising the government on all human rights concerns and emergency issues, and conducting legislative and oversight functions to examine bills and delegated legislation from a human rights angle, ensuring the implementation of human rights legislation. The Parliamentary Human Rights Committee, PHRC, met for the first time on Thursday, February 27th. Other mandates include ensuring national compliance with international human rights commitments and monitoring and evaluating human rights conditions across the Bahamas. The committee is chaired by Attorney General, Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator Ryan Pinder, with Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis serving as deputy chair. Finally, in this segment, police are seeking the public's assistance in identifying the suspects responsible for a stabbing incident that has left an off-duty police officer requiring medical attention. Reports reveal that on Tuesday, March 4th, shortly after 2 a.m., a fight broke out at a business establishment on Charles Vincent Street. A police officer intervened, attempting to stop the brawl, but he was assaulted to the facial area with a bottle, then beaten about the body and stabbed to the chest area. The suspects responsible for this incident left the scene in an unknown direction. Emergency medical services visited the scene and transported the officer to the hospital, where he is listed in stable condition. You are listening to JCN News. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back following these commercials.